Welcome to Darren Daily On Demand, your most trusted resource to help you become better every day. Here's your success mentor, Darren Hardy.
Every day, every one of us faces obstacles. Rich, poor, old, young, ugly, or beautiful, nobody avoids obstacles. It's how you choose to deal with these inevitable obstacles that determines your destiny. Obstacles, even as small or as simple as a traffic jam that makes you late, misplacing your keys, missing a call from an important client, stubbing your toe, having a bad hair day, whatever. In the moment, it could seem as if your world is coming to an end. That's one way to experience these obstacles, but it is not the way of the achiever. In spending time with the world's highest achievers, I've noticed a commonality in how they choose to experience and triumph over obstacles, both small and big. Since obstacles will be a constant along your path to greater success, happiness, and joy, let me equip you with a strategy to overcome them simply and with grace. Sound like a good idea? I think so. Here's a 4-point plan to triumph over obstacles. Are you ready? Number 1, get a grip. Know first off that you're not special in regards to obstacles, that is. Achievers know that life will always be filled with travails, from small annoyances and inconveniences to devastating and heartbreaking catastrophes. As the military phrase goes, shiitake happens, deal with it. Now that you know that you aren't special, it is important to know how fortunate you really are and gain some perspective. I have been honored to spend time with some of the most amazing people on the planet, many of whom who have been dealt some of the most devastating of circumstances. Trust me when I say, what you and I have suffered, been a victim to, is nothing by comparison, and yet they have gone through it with grace, without complaint, and then have gone on to do a lot more than you and I. We have nothing to whine, gripe, and complain about. Have you been dealt a blow recently? Are you hosting a pity party because of it? Here's what you do. Go visit a local burn unit, a local homeless shelter, or just go take a short drive over to the other side of the tracks. Take a look around. Pity party over. Here's the way to deal with being dealt a blow, big or small. Simply say, now what? Okay, that happened, it's done. You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. No need to cry over spilt milk. It's spilled. Now what? Move on to what's next. You cannot change what has happened in the past, only how you respond to what's happened. Now what? Keep that in mind. Every time something hits you, say, okay, that happened. Now what? Number 2, control the controllable. This has been a sanity saver for me. Atlas used to be my hero. You know, the guy that was such a stud that he could carry the whole world on his back. Admirable, but burdensome. I learned to shrug, a wink to my Ayn Randian friends. I took politics, healthcare reform, global warming, inflation, the economy, even my wife, friends, and family off my back. If I can't control it, I let it go. Any aspect of it that I can control or influence, voting, saving capital, planning, preparing, building my business, and changing my behavior, is all I ever focus on and deal with. That eliminates 99.99% of what most people worry, fret, and agonize over. If you can't control it, let it go, let it go, let it go. And whew, relief at last. Thank God Almighty, relief at last. By releasing control over circumstances, you gain more control over your life. This is especially important when it comes to dealing with obstacles. Take a look at the situation as it is and ask yourself, what part of this can I control? Then let go of everything else. And voila, 99.99% of the mental and emotional burden is lifted, and you are left to just act on the 0.01% that you can control, which is usually you and your response action. As Jim Rohn taught me, what happens to you doesn't determine your destiny. What happens to you happens to all of us. It's how you respond to what happens to you that determines your destiny. And then number 3, ask for help. Asking for help will not only lighten your burden, but it will also empower those who help you. People want to be of value. They want to know that they matter to you. Being able to help you helps them feel important and be important. Give others that gift by asking others to help you more often. And number 4, Just keep moving. As Winston Churchill said, if you're going through hell, keep going. Sometimes just continuing to move is all we can do, but it's enough. Just focus on the next step. That's all. I remember my interview with Chad Hymas. Chad was injured in a serious accident, paralyzing all 4 of his limbs, leaving him with only the use of his wrists and fractional use of his biceps. It takes Chad over 2 hours to get dressed in the morning, yet he travels over 200 times a year throughout 38 countries and 7 continents speaking. Chad also wheeled his chair with his wrists over 500 miles through the desert to set a world record, and the rest of us whine and moan about going out for a run for a few miles. Chad shared that in his extraordinary 513-mile wheelchair trek through the desert, he used this strategy. He did just what was in front of him. He said, I couldn't even count the mile markers anymore. I had to take it one highway stripe at a time. When faced with your own difficult obstacles, instead of trying to figure out the solution to the entire problem, just continue to move and focus only on the next step, the next stripe on the pavement ahead. Navy SEALs have a mantra that they use when under stress. When self-doubt or the little voice suggesting that you quit creeps in, say, not dead, can't quit. Navy SEAL veteran Richard Machowicz said to me, a man or woman can only be defeated in 2 ways. If he or she gives up, or if he or she dies. So, are you stuck? Not sure what to do? Just keep moving forward. One single, small as it may be, step at a time. If you're not dead, don't quit. Just keep moving.